Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. Shabbat Shalom. We want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, YAHAWASHI, Bahasham, Racha Kodash, and double honors to our venerable apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone on down who rule well, and peace and blessings to the Lord's elect, the house of David. All right, so Brother Aharon coming back at you with another lesson, low and to be edifying, uplifting, and informative unto the elect. All right, and I'm going to jump right into it. All right, this is a major omen, all right, that I saw, and I just want to bring it out through the Spirit, okay, because we don't take things like this lightly at all. All right, things like this right here, it says, at precisely 12:12 a.m. Eastern Time on August 28th, a stunning blood moon eclipse will occur over the entire continental United States. I'm read that again. At precisely 12:12 a.m. Eastern Time on August 28th, a stunning blood moon eclipse will occur over the entire continental United States. If you don't take this as a major omen / warning from Yahawah Bashim Yahushai that the floodgates are about to open quite literally, I don't know what else to tell you. As a matter of fact, speaking of floods, just was it earlier today? All right, I know this morning, Zaquan had posted something in our group chat about he had a dream about some flooding, and when he woke up, the Nepal flooding situation, all right, happened. Okay, so we look at all these signs as significant warnings, okay, of the Earth's demonstration of the power of the Lord, and not just that, but also the soon to be advent / appearance of Yahawashi. Okay, it's almost like as the prophets are speaking of these end time prophecies, the earth is also responding by behaving in the way that the prophet said they will be, the earth will behave in according to biblical prophecy. Okay, so everything is lined up. We said it years ago, and the things that has been said through the Spirit and power of Yahawah Bashim Yahushai are all happening. Okay, so going into the article, it says, it is not often that everyone living in the entire continental United States is able to view a blood moon eclipse with their own eyes. On the night of August 27th into the early hours of August 28th, a celestial spectacle will light up the night sky as Earth's colossal shadow rises to swallow more than 96% of the full moon. Okay, and we are currently facing or having a full moon. All right, because we're pretty much halfway through the moon cycle. All right, so it becomes a full moon. And of course, it's going to lean all the way. It's going to start waning all the way into another new moon, okay, which is about 2 weeks from now. All right. So, again, this is all part of, the signs. Because remember, they're saying this is it's very rare that the whole entire continental United States, that shit is all red, man. That's a major omen. All right. Major omen. Okay, so it says here, and this is was it August 27th to 28th. So that's tomorrow, which is Thursday. All right, so Thursday evening, night into Friday morning, pretty much at 12:12. 12:12. Okay, and that's why I read Revelation 12 and 12. Okay, 12:12, precisely 12:12. Shit. Anyway, continue. It says, in a breathtaking cosmic display, the brilliant lunar surface will be plunged into darkness, bleeding into deep shades of copper, fiery orange, okay, and blood red. While a solitary blazing silver of light will fight to remain untouched, escaping a technical total eclipse by a razor-thin margin of less than 4%. The agonizingly close near total blackout will leave onlookers spellbound. Ooh. Ooh. So could we say that Esau is going to be using this opportunity for some type of rituals / sacrifices? Because they also believe in the celestial patterns of the heavens. Okay, as it tells you in the book of Jeremiah. Okay, let's get that real quick in the book of Jeremiah, the 10th chapter. Okay, that the Lord says not to, not to be dismayed by the signs of heaven. All right, because the heathens are dismayed by them. So Esau is looking into the heavens. Let's see if I can get that in Jeremiah 10. All right, it's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1. And the ultimate heathen that be dismayed by the signs of the heavens is Esau. Okay, his modern day sciences, which go back to the old ancient Neo-Babylonian Empire, where you had the Chaldeans. They were like their spiritual leaders, so to speak. Okay, they're priest of Baal, if you will. All right. So it says, Jeremiah 10:1, it says, "Hear ye the word which the Lord Yahawah speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord Yahawah, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them." All right, let's go into the word dismay. All right, let's look into the word dismay real quick. All right, so to dismay, it says, become or be alarmed, upset or frightened, to confound, to break down the courage of by danger or difficulty or fear of calamity, to fill with despairing apprehension. Okay, to divest, it says divest of power or ability. In other words, to weaken. All right. Dismay, it says consternation, fear, sudden or complete loss of courage. All right, terrified, amazement. All right, so those are just other ways of describing the word dismay. All right, so going back here, so Jeremiah 10:2 says, "Thus saith the Lord Yahawah, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them." All right, because they're vain. All right, they give too much credit and power to the celestial beings, if you will. Right, because they worship these things. They look at the moon and be like, "Oh wow, the moon is saying this now. This is what it means when it turns this," and they go into all that stupid shit. All right, but here we see these things as signs. Okay, we don't look at them as gods. We look at them as signs, man. That's what they're there for. The Lord said He created the sun and the moon and the stars. All right, specifically sun and moon for signs and for seasons. Okay, for times, for signs, seasons, and so on and so forth. So these are a part of the signs. All right, and they're quite literally written, and we're going to get that, okay, as we read through. Okay, so these words are very interesting, right? Darkness, bleeding, fiery orange, blood red, right? That's all symbols of death, honestly, when you think about it. Okay, it says, in the United States. Oh, wait, hold on. Right here. The agonizingly close near total blackout will leave onlookers spellbound. Okay, going into witchcraft, spellbound. It says overall, the eclipse will and this could have a major effect because it's a full moon. Remember that. It's a full moon on a blood moon. Revelation 12:12. It's going to happen precisely at 12:12. So this could really send people into a frenzy. All right. And it's at the tail end of the month of August, going into September. And knowing these devils, again, enter into the fourth quarter, that, man. Remember that the quarters always come with different vibrations. You know, we always say 3 to 6 months, 3 to 6 months. They always have different vibrations, man. The first quarter came with a different vibration, right? When Trump went and kidnapped Maduro, all right? I think that was January 3rd. And then February 28th, boom, the whole Iran situation. And it kept going on and on. That was like the talk of the town. And then the next quarter came with something else. All right, BB Yahoo joining in and all these different things, right? We had the Passover at that time. The Jays had the Passover the same day we had our Passover, right? And I believe the night of the Passover, Trump gave a speech, All right. He mentioned something, and I believe the Zaquan caught it. I forget exactly what he said. All right. But we looked at it as another sign. Okay. That the Lord is about to have this devil go buck wild, man. Again, to fulfill biblical prophecy. Okay. And all throughout the year of 2026, all you've been seeing is major end time signs, man. And this is no different. Okay. So it says here, overall, the eclipse will last for a total of 5 hours and 38 minutes. Damn. In the United States, it will start at 9:23 p.m. Eastern Time on August 27th, and it will end at 3:01 p.m. Eastern Time on August 28th. But it will be at precisely 12:12 a.m. Eastern Time that the main event will occur. At that moment, the red color of the blood moon will reach a peak, and throughout human history, many cultures have considered a blood moon to be a very ominous sign. Okay, a very ominous sign. Okay, it's an omen. Okay, let's get that real quick. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 6, and jump down to verse 12. It says, "And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal." Right, the number 6 is in here now. "Lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood." Okay, that's another sign of the judgment, or of the day of the Lord. Okay, tells you that also in the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter. All right, but I want to get this real quick about the moon. Let me see here. For times and for seasons. Let me see. Right here, there's a book of shit. There's a book of Psalm chapter 104 verse 19. It says, "He appointed the moon for seasons, the sun knoweth his going down." Okay, so that's just another precept, all right, to let you know that the Lord created the moon, the sun, the stars, all right, for telling time. So there are certain things that happens even with the celestial world. All right, we're talking, the sun, the moon, and the stars. There are certain things that happens that are considered unusual, but because it's being unusual, it represents something. It's another sign. It's telling you something about whatever season we're about to enter into. Okay? And when you're hearing things like, fiery orange and blood red and bleeding and darkness and things of that nature, spellbound and all kinds of things like that, right? It kind of gives you a sneak peek into, all right, the next vibration of the next season, if you will. Like I said, the fourth quarter, that's a season in and of itself. Okay. And this is happening right before the fourth quarter. All right. So it says here, let's look up the word ominous real quick, because they use that word. Ominous. Right. Ominous. It says here, conveying an omen. All right, conveying an omen. Let's see if there's any more. Omen, casual event or occurrence supposed to portend good or evil, and it's portending evil. Okay, it's portending evil, man. All right, right here. It says, of ill omen, giving indication of coming evil. All right. This is an indication of coming evil, man. Very ominous sign. All right. Check this out. This is not something that happens every day, obviously. Time magazine has pointed out that 44.4%. Bro, come on, man. Come on. And 4 is what? Mercy? 444? Come on, man. 44.4% of the entire global population will be able to see this eclipse. Wow. It's not often that 3.6 billion people or 44.4% of the world's population, 3.63666, right? So you see that the balance of the Lord's doing. This is how you know this is about to be, again, this is a sign of evil to come, a sign or an indication of the coming evils. Okay, because you have a balance, 3.6 billion, right? 3 and the 6, 3 and the 6, 666. And then, of course, right after that, you have 444, which is what? Mercy. Okay? So it says, look at the same thing at the same time. And it's not often that something comes along that's worth the attention of all those billions. But that will happen on the evening of August 27th, when much of the world will be able to witness a blood moon lunar eclipse, during which 96% of the face, my goodness, of the full moon will fall into Earth's shadow, glowing a deep orange red in the process. It says approximately 1 billion people in the United States, Canada, and Latin America will have prime hours long views as long as the weather cooperates. It says, I would encourage you to stay up for this if you're able to, blah, blah, whatever. Okay, continue. It says, a lunar eclipse unfolds in 3 phases, and the maximum phase for this particular eclipse will last for 1 hour and 39 minutes. So damn near 1 hour and 40 minutes. Okay. 1 hour and 39 minutes. That maximum shadow will occur at approximately, or no, not even approximately, at exactly 12:12 a.m. Man, that's heavy, man. That's heavy. All right. That's heavy. It says, as the maximum phase gets very close, the moon will start to turn red. All right. And once the moon is 96% covered by Earth's shadow at mid-eclipse at 12:12 a.m. Eastern Time, the redness of the moon will be at peak intensity. Man, and this is all going to be, once again, Thursday night into Friday. It says, so why will the moon turn red? NASA, these people, has explained it in a way that I think is very easy to understand. And then they go into it a whole bunch of bullshit that don't make no sense. We're not even going to read all that. All right, it says those living on the East Coast will be able to view this eclipse from the very beginning to the very end. Whew, that's heavy in and of itself. Okay. At 9:23 Eastern Time on August 27th, the moon will start to enter the Earth's shadow, and the eclipse will finally be over at 3:01 Eastern Time on August 28th. These times are very, man, that's man. Let me see if there's any more. It's just the timing, man. The timing of it. There's something spiritual about the timing of it. Okay? Hold on, man. There's something going. All right, so from 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. So 6 hours. From 9:23 to 3:01. So almost 6 hours right there. It says this eclipse has sparked a frenzy of speculation on social media. Many are wondering what it might mean, and even mainstream news sources are bringing up Bible verses in relation to this event. Okay? It says several passages in the Bible describe the moon turning red, signaling a major event or God's intervention. And that's in Joel. All right? Key references include, there you go, Joel 2:31, Acts 2:20, which echoes the same imagery because the Apostle Peter was quoting Joel about your sons and your daughters having dreams and visions and so on and so forth. All right, the moon turning blood red. All right, before the coming day of the Lord. All right, and these are all describing apocalyptic events. Okay. It says believers often interpret these verses as signs that a blood moon could herald a time of upheaval, right? Judgment for the wicked, right? Or salvation for the elect. They said the word faithful, but we know who the faithful are. All right, the word faithful is interchangeable with elect. All right, because the elect are the faithful ones of Yahawah Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI. All right, it says given the August eclipse a heightened sense of spiritual significance, because it is, man, it is. All right, it is. When you see all the things that's going on in this year alone, and you couple that, on top of that, you have a blood moon coming up at 12:12. Are you kidding me, bro? Nah, stop. It says this is going to be the final lunar eclipse of 2026. So the Lord is about to close out the show, all right, with a banger, man. Straight up. The whole entire continent could see it. Come on, man. It says, but there will be several notable eclipses in 2027 and in 2028. It says, and in 2028, a total lunar eclipse will actually occur on New Year's Eve. If we make it all the way that far, man, that's going to be another thing in and of itself. Whatever energy that's going to come with. All right. But this energy that this is coming with, we already know is going to be, it says what? Is a sign, all right, of what? A time of what? It's heralding a time of upheaval. Okay. Again, Revelation 12 and 12. All right. Let me see. I think. Yeah, that's all. Hold on. It says, yeah, right. It says this is going to be the final lunar eclipse of 2026, right? Okay. But yeah, man, I just wanted to bring it out through the Spirit because I saw this and I was like, time out, the whole entire continent at the same time? At the same time? Right? At Revelation 12, at precisely 12 a.m. Eastern Time on August 28th, a stunning blood moon eclipse will occur over the entire continental United States. Man, the Lord is speaking. The Lord is speaking. The Lord, Yahawah Ba'ashem YAHAWASHI, is speaking. All right. There's a book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 22. This is, remember, it says heralding a time of upheaval. We're about to enter into that time of upheaval. Okay. Like another level. The Lord is going to escalate the issues that the earth is facing right now. 2nd Ezra 16 and 22 says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. This is all straight up upheaval. Okay, upheaval. Let's look up the word upheaval real quick. And this is what I believe through the Spirit that this is going to bring in. All right. An evil and only evil is come. Behold, it watches for thee. It is come. This is that time. This is that omen. This is that sign of that next stage of prophecy. When we talk about the increased intensity of Jacob's trouble, this could very well be it. The signs are way too obvious. All right. 3.6 billion people around the world could see it at the same time. Come on. Right. Upheaval, it says a heavy or lifting up. It says reference to convulsions in society. Convulsions. Remember the birth pains, right? When the baby, you got the contractions. That's all convulsions right there. Okay. It says rise up. Okay. Rise up. Arise. All right. Let's see if there's any more. I don't think there's any more on that. They didn't give me too much on that. All right, but they gave me enough. Okay, upheaval, a heaving or lifting up. All right, so the Lord's stirring up the spirits. Okay, stirring up the spirits. It says, verse 24, there shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. Right, there'll be no farmers. There'll be no need for farmers. Okay, whatever is about to happen, bro. Listen, man. Shit. It says the trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? The grapes shall ripen, and who shall tread them? For all places shall be desolate of men, so that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For a city there shall be 10 left, and the 2 of the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick groves and in the clefts of the rocks. Okay, so the times that we're about to enter into is going to be straight death, man. Straight death, straight up death. All right. When you jump down a little bit, all right, verse 29 says, as in an orchard of olives, upon every tree there are left 3 or 4 olives, or as when a vineyard is gathered, there are left some clusters of them that diligently seek through the vineyard. Remember, we're entering into a time of chaos, a time of complete and utter draconian destruction. Revelation 12 and 12, a time like never before. Jeremiah 30 and 7, Jacob's trouble. Okay? So that's that time like never before in Jeremiah 30 and 7 is synonymous with this devil coming down upon the earth having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And they're going to be going city to city, town to town, eventually home to home, looking for certain specific people and wiping people out. They got robot dogs that's going to be doing that. They got robot machines, fully autonomous weapons that's going to be out here wilding out on some Terminator shit, on some Skynet shit. Okay? They show you that in the show Black Mirror, where there was like a group of people that went into this warehouse type thing, and they done fucked around and woke up a damn Terminator robot dog type shit that would not stop chasing them. Right? This chick that, she survived. The robot killed him, and she survived, and this motherfucker would not let her go. You see what I'm saying? Come to find out, this shit done created a whole gridlock system when she thought she was escaping that. No. There's a reason why that damn thing was in a factory, in a damn warehouse somewhere. You went and woke it up, and now look, chasing after your ass 24/7. You can't even escape that shit. That nigga will be hiding, waiting for you to come down the tree. He can't climb no trees, but he's a robot. He don't eat, he don't sleep. You need to eat. You need to sleep. Right? You need to drink water. He don't got to do that. So he could be there waiting for you all day, all night, just chilling, waiting for your ass to move so he could come after you. A lot of people going to be going through that. Okay? Picture those scenarios and picture yourself in it. Then you're going to be like, damn, I wish I had a God that could come save me. All right, they show you this in all the movies, man. A lot of these movies, these end time, all right, movies, they depict things like that, like Handmaid's Tale. All right, that's just an example. Okay, you have I think there's a movie called Of Men, Sons of Men, or something like that. All right, so there's a lot of things that's predictively been programmed over the years, and we're about to start seeing them play out, going into the time like never before. Okay, zombies and all kinds of shit. All right, it says, even so, in those days shall there be 3 or 4 left by them that search their houses with the sword, and the earth shall be laid waste, and the fields thereof shall wax old, and her ways and all her paths shall grow full of thorns, because no man shall travel therethrough. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. All right, that's what's going to make the men of the Lord so precious in that day. All right, Isaiah is it 13 and 12? All right, YAHAWASHI said he's going to make his man more precious than fine gold, even the golden wedge of Ophir. Okay, so think about all that. Think about all that. Think about the stress that's about to happen, and you're going to have a select few men that are going to be able to just weave right through like it's nothing. All right, Isaiah 33 and 6. Okay. It says, in the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Hear now these things and understand them, ye servants of the Lord. Behold, the word of the Lord, receive it. Believe not the gods of whom the Lord spake. Okay, just like we read in Jeremiah 10. All right. Continue verse 37, says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth pains, of her birth great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. All right. So that's the times that we're about to enter into. And I believe through the Spirit that this ominous sign is the sign to look for, as in, okay, after this day, we saw all these things starting to play out. Okay. So let's get this last one here in the book of Joel, because that is the time. We are in that time. All right. We are in that time, and we've been on it. We've been bringing it out all these years. YAHAWASHI is, all right, he's making his faithful words, all right, come to pass. All right, Joel chapter 2, go down to verse, I believe, 28. Right here. Is the book of Joel chapter 2 and verse 28. It says, "And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, your young men shall see visions. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit, and I will shew wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke." Okay, and a sister, I think it was earlier today, she was mentioning how she had a dream. Okay, so going into that the Lord pouring out his spirit upon all flesh. All right, she had a dream. Let me see. Yeah, she pretty much had a dream of all hell breaking loose. Okay, let me see right here. She said she had a dream last night that she had to stop at a convenient gas station store for her daily bread because something happened to the big, large grocery stores. All right, whatever that something is, we're going to see it actually play out and manifest. All right, because very soon these grocery stores, the storehouses, grocery stores, right, they ain't going to have no food. Point blank, period. And it's all done by design. Remember, famines are part of the end time prophecies of how the Lord is going to take this place out with the people. Okay? And through famine is how you're going to see all hell breaking loose. Remember, 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter says what? For famine, for lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Okay? So this ominous sign could bring all these things into play from this year into 2027. All right? She said she was surprised because it was set up like a mini grocery store when even with a bakery. So she happened to look toward the entrance door, and an old Iranian man, maybe in his 60s, with a head wrap, long garment, and full long gray beard, and shotgun came inside. He started shooting at someone. He started shooting at everyone he could. As I ran, I could hear on the news from the TV they had on that America had did something to Iran. Okay, so that this red blood omen, remember Joel the 2nd chapter, right? Joel 2 and 30, "And I will shew wonders in the heavens and in the earth." Okay, so two things: wonders in the heavens and in the earth. Okay, the whole Nepal situation, that whole flooding thing that happened, that's another wonder in the earth. Okay, these earthquakes that's happened, that's all wonders of the earth. You got 7.7. Nah, that's not normal. That's not normal. Okay, unusual earthly activities happening. Okay, it says and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. Okay, the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord Yahweh come. All right. So once again, the blood moon, that's the sign right there. She said, going back to the dream. So America had did something to Iran, right? I guess that triggered him and he went on a shooting spree on these Americans. Somehow I ended up outside and people were shot and going crazy outside as well. The man The man was or the owner of this gas station, right? So he was either somebody who was related to the owner or he was the owner of the gas station. All right. But in the dream, that's what the sister had. All right. Through the spirit. So once again, man, these are all signs. We look at it as signs. People may look at it as, oh, it's just a nothing burger. Yeah, okay, we'll see. All right, we'll see. But again, Joel 2:31, the sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood. The moon into blood. The moon into blood. Okay? Before the great and terrible day of the Lord Yahweh come. When you read that in the NLT, it says the sun will become dark and the moon will turn blood red before the great and terrible day of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai arrives. All right? And ultimately, at the end of it all, verse 32, and it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord Yahweh has said, and in the remnant whom the Lord Yahweh shall call. Point blank, period. Okay? So you could be a heathen and you could wish for all this. Guess what? If the Lord don't call you and you're not in the book of life, you ain't going to be delivered. All right? And especially if you're a heathen, ain't no such thing as deliverance to being in slavery. That is a stupid ass notion to even come up with. All right, you can't sell out that hard to come up with some dumbass shit like that. Like you just trying too hard at this point. Trying way too hard. All right, that's an easy shutdown right there for your ass. All right, for those who think like that, at least. Okay, but guess what? Get ready. All right, and embrace yourselves because, hey, we're about to enter into a time like never before. All right, judgment like never before, darkness like never before. Okay, as a stunning blood moon eclipse will occur over the entire continental United States at precisely 12:12 a.m. Eastern Time on August 28th. Anyway, I'm going to end it off there. Lord willing, you edified and informed. In closing, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahawashi Ba'ashem Rachakudash, the Wadi Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Until next time, Shalom.